The best job for recent college grads in Wisconsin is right in Dane County, according to Zippia. We'll tell you where it is up next. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. It's time to take a look at this week's real estate numbers. The Wisconsin Realtors Association reports 75,602 closed sales statewide year to date. That's up 5.9% from last year. Now let's take a look at sales numbers throughout South Central Wisconsin for the month of November 2016. In Dane County, sales were up 0.2% over November of last year. In Columbia County, sales were up 21.7%. In Rock County, sales were up 15.4% over November of last year. In Greene County, sales were up 28.1%. In Sauk County, sales were up 4.1%. In Iowa County, sales were up 11.1% over November of last year. In Lafayette County, sales were up 87.5%. In Richland County, sales were up 45.5%. And in Grant County, sales were down 26.7% from November of last year. The total number of homes sold in South Central Wisconsin was 1,082 homes. That's up 4.1% over November of last year. Zippia, the career expert site, has determined the best jobs in Wisconsin for recent college graduates, and the best is in Verona, Wisconsin. Zippia analyzed the Wisconsin Department of Labor's data on job requirements in the state to compile the list. Each job was ranked based on factors of average entry-level salary, projected growth in the industry over the next 10 years, and the location quotient. According to Zippia, the #1 job in Wisconsin for recent grads is as an EPIC consultant. Projected growth for the job is 27.68%. Epic Systems Corporation is a healthcare software company headquartered in Verona, Wisconsin. #2 on the list of best jobs in Wisconsin for recent college grads was as a programmer, followed by technician writer. For the full list, go to zippia.com. New home sales are racing to keep up with demand nationwide. That's according to newly released data from the U.S. Census Bureau and the HUD. It shows that sales are at an annual rate of 563,000. That's up 17.8% year over year. The Midwest as a whole is up 8.6% for new home sales. Inventory is below historic norms with a 5.2-month supply. That's down 7.1% from October of 2015. The highest percentage of sales are in the 200,000 and 300,000 price ranges. 54% of new home sales fall within those price ranges. Nationwide, the median home price decreased slightly from September's high of $314,000 to $304,500 in October. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, please reference the sources you see on your screen. You can also like us on Facebook and visit us at wi57.tv. Stick around, we'll have more real estate news right after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Kate Paulus from Bella Domicile. Welcome, Kate. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So we wanted to talk about remodeling today. I wonder, what's the most common design trend from, let's say, the 90s, 20 years ago, that you find that you're having to redesign now for people to make their spaces more functional and more modern, more today?
Yeah, so back in the 90s, everyone wanted large Whirlpool tubs. So regarding bathrooms, we are definitely taking out the large tubs, especially for master bathrooms. Clients are definitely wanting larger walk-in showers that are tiled all the way up to the ceiling. So we've been getting rid of plenty of Whirlpool tubs.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember that. I remember a friend of mine actually, their parents had one in the living room. So I imagine that's probably going to.
Yes, definitely.
So how do you uncover the best functionality for that person when you're doing that?
So we ask a lot of questions. It's all about the interview. We get pretty in depth. We want to know what works for you right now, what doesn't work, what is causing you that frustration. And it's all about coming up with solutions to make those problems disappear and to help with everyday living.
So there's just so many options today. I mean, you've got stain colors, you've got appliances, faucets, tile, you've got to choose every single one of those things. How do you help the client get their arms around that and decide what they're going to like the best?
Yes, so there are several different products out there, and our job is to kind of be an advocate, find the products that will work well for you. So it all depends on how you utilize the space. Regarding a kitchen, if you are someone that does a lot of hand washing, you're going to want a sink that you can have an equal divide, so you can have soap and water in one side and the dishes in the other. Otherwise, if you prefer to do a lot of baking, maybe you have a lot of baking sheets, sometimes the larger sink works and accommodates that better. So little details such as that can really make a difference in your kitchen.
I like how you guys get really personal down to the individual, down to how often they're washing their hands. It's great. It's really tailored to you.
Yep.
So what are some of the common storage accessories and cabinet types of things that you're using nowadays?
Yes, and this is where people are just amazed. They come into the showroom and they see all these different storage options and accessories that they didn't even know existed before. The most common one that we are putting in kitchens today is going to be what we call a BRC. It's a base recycling unit. So it's a cabinet that pulls open, and you have 2 recycling bins in there. One you can use for garbage, the other for recycling, or however you'd like to. But it's really nice because it's concealed, it's put away, not necessarily standing out of your kitchen where you see that and you pass by it every single day. So that's a great storage solution. We're doing a lot of different storage solutions inside the cabinets, such as spice racks. So maybe you cook a lot and you really would like some space for all of your spices near your range or your cooktop. So we're putting in spice racks on doors, or putting units in drawers to pull out. And then the most popular one as well, I would say, is going to be rollouts. So you'd open up, say, your pantry in your kitchen, and you can't reach what's all the way back on the shelves. So we put pull-outs out so you can roll it out and grab everything you want, and it's easy accessibility.
Well, thanks so much, Kate. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Great talking with you as well.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Andrew Kimball from Kimball Realtors. Welcome back, Andrew. How's it going in Wisconsin Dells?
Really good. You know, we're just finishing up 2016, and it was, for our company, it was our best year ever. We had a great year, and all indications are that 2017 are going to be just as good, if not better. Everything's looking really good up in our area for the market.
Well, congrats. I'm glad to hear that. Now, tell us about your latest listing, because this one's a really exciting one.
Yeah, so in real estate, location is everything, and in commercial real estate, it's even more important for the location. And we just listed a resort at 4124 River Road. It is right next to the Wisconsin Dells Center Dome, and it's just down the road from the new Woodside Sports Complex. And it's a 24-acre resort. It has a full restaurant and bar. It has 14 standard rooms. It has 4 whirlpool cabins, 2 standard cabins. It also has a 3-bedroom owner's home. It has a 75-person banquet hall. It has 12 campsites and 4 RV sites, and many other things as well. And we've listed that for $1.595 million, and it's a great location, beautiful resort.
And the Dells is an awesome place to have a resort too. Now, if somebody is a potential buyer, do you think they could be up and running the resort by this next big season coming up?
Sure. The resort is currently operating now, and the current owner would be willing to do a separate bill of sale for the inventory and furnishings that are in the resort, so there'd be a smooth transition because it's already running, and a new owner could come in and be all ready for the next season coming up as well. It'd be a very smooth transition.
If someone's interested in this, where can they get more information about this particular resort?
The best place to find it would be on our website, wisconsindellshomesforsale.com, and look under our listings. Because it's a commercial listing, you won't find it like on Zillow or Trulia. So if you go to our website, wisconsindellshomesforsale.com, and click on our listings, you'll find that listing.
Good to know. Now, for other people out there talking about maybe thinking about listing their home, is this a good time to start doing that now as we're wrapping up the holidays?
It definitely is. One of the things that I do as the owner of the company, for me personally, I take a limited amount of listings, and so I'm already looking at now how many listings I'm going to be taking for 2017. So I'm talking to people about their listings now so that we can get it in there. I want to make sure I can give every listing the attention that it deserves, so I don't take too many listings. So it's a really good idea now to be talking to a real estate agent about getting your home listed for the next season.
So definitely contact Kimball Realtors about that. Well, thanks so much, Andrew. Always great to see you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Rob Grether from Lake Point Realty. Welcome back, Rob. So how was your year?
2016 has been a great year. There's been a lot of activity in real estate and in other things going on throughout the country, around the world. But as far as the real estate market goes, I think everybody can agree, it's a very active one, and there's a lot of good things happening throughout the real estate market.
Yeah, we've been reporting on a lot of great numbers in Wisconsin. Just as a whole, we just got to get some more out there to sell, really, and it could be an even better market. So, what do you foresee for the next year, for 2017?
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty as to who's going to do what to who in 2017. So, that obviously is a little uncertain, but I think that if interest rates stay where they are, or at least not, going too crazy, everybody should be, pretty well primed to continue buying and selling. Inventory obviously still being an issue. I see a lot of new construction out there, so that's, obviously a good sign. And, I've got buyers and sellers waiting for the new year to come. I think we're all kind of on a holiday hiatus right now, and, waiting for some things to calm down and get back to business.
So let's get to one of the features that we like to do with you, kind of your neighborhood of the week. So which neighborhood would you like to highlight this time with us?
Well, I've got some action right now over in the like the Seminole Hills area.
Okay.
Just kind of north of McKee Road. There's just some beautiful homes over in that area. It's very busy in that area in general. North and south of McKee. I think people know, there's been a lot of development in that area in the last 5, 10, 15, years. Some good commercial things, as well as some great houses that have been there and are, being built in that area as well.
Yeah, that really is just a gorgeous, gorgeous area too. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to get their hands on some real estate in that area. So what else? What other neighborhoods are you seeing around that you're liking?
Well, I mentioned the north part of the McKee area. If you go south of there, there's some more modest homes. There are also some condos in that area. There's, not to say, a lot of multifamily stuff, but there is, some complexes over there to offer people some, some options as far as, housing in that area. And again, that's just been a nice area in the last 10 years to see a lot of development and, some good commercial things. The activities for the families and for individuals to be involved in is really outstanding.
Yeah, it sure has. Well, thanks so much, Rob. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Brian Pitch from Pacific Union Financial. Welcome, Brian. Good to have you here. So at Pacific Union, you've got a wide variety of loan programs and options. Why is that so important when you're trying to get pre-approved for a home loan out there?
Yeah, thanks for having us back, Stacy. The reason it's important is because you can get a pre-approval from any bank in town, but coming to a lender like Pacific Union Financial, what you're getting is a mortgage professional that's familiar with all of the loan programs and processes that are out there. And every borrower, every person that's looking to purchase a home is going to have individual needs. And having someone, a professional that's familiar with the variety of programs out there is going to allow you to be, number one, educated, but then also have access to what will end up ultimately being the best loan product, loan program for you, whether it's a federally insured loan or a loan that allows you to bring less than 20% to the table. Those are things that any borrower is going to want to know so that they can make the best decision for them and their family.
So kind of walk us through the process. How do you go about getting pre-approved?
It's really simple. I mean, the first step is just to call myself up or a lender like me. Have a conversation, figure out the best way to get an application in. What the lender's then going to do is take that information, take a look at credit, asset history, and then make a determination about what the best direction is going to go. The nice thing about what we do at Pacific Union is, we run a pre-approval through an underwriting system right away to determine, if we can get it in a eligible loan, an approved loan. And then it's really just a conversation with that professional that you're working with to talk about all of the nuances, the specifics of the process, so that the two of you can work hand in hand to, again, craft the loan to the best needs of the borrower, so that everything goes as smoothly as possible from the beginning of the process, which is the pre-approval, all the way to closing the loan and getting the keys to a new home.
Makes sense. Now, I wonder, what's the difference between going to just say like a local bank to get a pre-approval as opposed to coming to Pacific Union Financial?
Yeah, again, I think I touched on that a little bit earlier, but more specifically, it's really about having a lender that's capable of providing multiple options to a borrower. What you don't want is, you don't want to go to a lender and have them tell you that you're approved for a loan, but really only have one way of doing it. What you really want is, you want somebody that's going to provide you with multiple options, so that you and your partner, your family, you can sit down, take a look at your own personal finances, and figure out what is the best option for you. One example would be just simply, moving into a new property and tapping out all of your resources in terms of your savings. It may not always be the best idea, and if there's an option to do it in a different way, because there's always unforeseen expenses when you move into a house. You might decide that the polar vortex is coming, and you need to buy a snowblower to clear the driveway, things like that. So unforeseen expenses. So you just want to have somebody that's going to be able to provide you with a lot of different options.
Makes sense. Well, thanks so much, Brian. Good to have you here.
Thank you, Stacy. It was great to be back.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Jeff Edmonds. He's from Acquire Restoration. Welcome, Jeff. Great to have you here. So let's just kind of go over the basics first. What services do you provide there at Acquire?
Thank you for having me. Acquire Restoration primarily restores properties affected by water, fire, wind, hail, and storm damage and sewer damage. And pretty much anyone that owns a property, they're our end customer.
So mold, that can be scary. How scared do property owners need to be of having mold in their home? Who does this really affect?
Not scared, but aware of the situation. Don't minimize it. Don't neglect it, but pay attention to it. There are 3 sectors of people out there that are more susceptible to mold inhalation issues. That's the elderly, people with compromised immune systems, and then infants or toddlers that have developmental lungs and tissues.
Yeah, definitely want to watch out for sure for those folks. So as a pro at this, how do you go about cleaning up this mold?
There's multiple different ways of approaching a mold remediation project. We have patented processes to do so. There are dry ice blasting, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate blasting, there's pressure washing, there's HEPA vacuuming. All those are susceptible to remediate the mold. You should never use bleach in mold removal, mold remediation, and you technically, according to the ISCRC, should never use any kind of chemicals, but there are situations that require that situation to happen.
Why is it that you can't use bleach on that?
It's toxic. It's 99% water, and sodium hypochlorite is the other 1%. So you're adding water to the already affected materials that have water that created the mold in the first place.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. I never would have thought that. Now, do you need to be licensed, insured, certified, all that kind of thing to deal with this mold?
There are no regulations for the state or federal government to be licensed or insured. It's, of course, a wise practice to be licensed, insured, and certified in all those areas. Of course, Acquire Restorations is all 3. We're licensed. We're a licensed building contractor. We're insured for all the risks that we face every day. And then we're also certified. All of our technicians and all of our management is certified in mold remediation, along with all the other perils.
So you definitely can handle anything that customers out there are needing with remediation. Well, thanks so much, Jeff. Great to have you stop by today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Josh Lavick and Associates with the man himself, Josh Lavick. Thanks for coming on the show today. So what's going on in real estate this month?
Well, it's December and it's cold out there, lots of snow, and as you can imagine, I thought it might be appropriate to just talk about the seasonality. So, you know, what it's like to sell homes in the winter. One of the common questions I get from people is, do homes even sell in the winter?
Right.
Can you imagine that, right? So I would say the overwhelming answer is yes, homes do still sell in the winter, just maybe not as much. But certainly if, you know, some people feel a little overwhelmed, I'm sure you might be feeling that as well with the holidays approaching and gifts and whatnot. So, but, you know, some of the advantages of selling this time of year is that you're not competing against other home sellers as much. You know, there's not as many other listings to compete against if you're going on the market. Plus, if you do find buyers out there that usually if they're out looking in this kind of weather, then they're going to be pretty motivated and serious.
Yeah, I suppose if people are out there in this cold and snow that we've been having this year, they've got to be serious.
Absolutely.
So do you have some properties to share with us today for those serious buyers?
Yeah, sure. I thought I'd talk today about a couple of lakefront properties. So the first one is, are you ready for this? On the waterfront? So
yeah.
First one is at 2947 Camp Leonard Road. This is over on Lake Wabisa, kind of a special property. Over, what's unique about this is it's actually two houses on 350 feet of frontage. Now to give you a perspective, most of the lots over there are about 60 or 70 feet of frontage, but this one's just a huge lot. It's right over on the east end of the lake, so you get beautiful sunsets, good school district, right near Babcock Park, located right off Highway 51 there. So.
That sounds like a pretty nice place. Now I understand that you've got not one, but more than one lakefront property available right now.
Yeah, another one. This one's in my my office has listed. Another agent in my office. It's 405 Woodward Drive, and it's over on the north side of Lake Mendota by Warner Park. It's a smaller lot, 76 feet of frontage, but it's kind of a nice mix of an old cabin feel with some modern updates. The original house was built in 1910, and then they obviously have added on and made some changes over the years. So, but this one they just slashed the price about 50 grand, so this one's down to $724,900. So.
Wow, that sounds like a cool one too. And just real quickly, in the time we have left, what are some things that people should consider on this lakefront living? Yeah,
so on the lake you've got just some different, usually zoning restrictions. You've got shoreland zoning to deal with. So there might be rules for tearing down a property or doing some rehab. Property taxes are typically a lot higher. They're going to be based on the assessed value. But you know, living on the lake is pretty awesome. You can go boating, swimming, kiteboarding, snowmobiling in the winter, or ice fishing, like you know, we're going to get to do here pretty soon. And you know, really, you just have this awesome sense of peace every time you come home.
Yeah, and who doesn't want that when they come home?
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Josh. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank our guests for their time today and you, our viewers, for tuning in. Be sure to join us again next week. I'm Stacey Hansen for the Real Estate News, making a positive impact and leading the real estate market.